Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Feature Artist Spotlight. Today, I have a fantastic 3D artist. Met him through school. I was his teacher in his portfolio classes, and now the grasshopper has passed the master. I would like to introduce Gage Mills. How you doing, Gage?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Thanks for having
Great.
me.
Let's go ahead and start with a little bit of introductions. Can you talk to us a little bit about your life, yourself? What helped you prepare to become the artist that you are today?
Okay, yeah. I went to the Art Institute of Virginia Beach. Went there in 2013. My love for like the sculpting and drawing and stuff like that kind of grew into something else. I really liked the modeling aspect and actually creating something from nothing in a 3D program. Yeah, I remember taking all those advanced lighting classes, the 3D modeling classes and everything. But then I found my love for characters, and then that's kind of when everything started to really beamline me for what I wanted my end-all be-all goal to be. I will say your portfolio class has helped me a lot. Just because I remember I went with you, there was a lot of requirements and stuff, and I came to you with all my research and was like, hey, these are the jobs that I want, and everybody that's in them is telling me to do this, but the school tells me to do this. And you're like, okay, well, you did your research and everything, so yeah, do that way. And then, when I graduated, Alex Animation, Sugar Skull Creative now, a few months after that, that was actually my first freelance, like, 3D gig. Well, before I left, I actually did work with the military. It was called a company called Threat Tech. I was doing 3D building like concepts and stuff. So where you'd have to like have one polygon and then you're basically doing all the art and stuff on it, and it's all just maps because it was for a training simulation. So they didn't want it really high poly. It's all just texture work and stuff. And they want all these different walls and building like rooftops and fences and doors and windows just so that they can make a bunch of different buildings really fast, kind of like Legos. That was kind of fun. That lasted for 6 or so months. But I remember when I graduated, I didn't really have nothing else I didn't have any job lined up or anything like that. And I just really I went in and just started applying to everywhere. I actually moved from Virginia Beach, about 4 hours north of there, to my hometown, Front Royal. My parents just moved away to come back to Arkansas, actually. That's where I currently reside at now. And I didn't have nowhere else to live, so I actually lived on my friend's couch for probably 3 or 4 months, and I had my computer there, and every single day I woke up at 5 or 6, and while they went to work, I helped them around their house because they wouldn't let me pay rent, of course. So I helped clean up their house, do just yard work and stuff. But yeah, when I wasn't doing that, I was at my computer and I was applying everywhere. I didn't care what it was. I was like, man, after school, I do not want a normal job. I don't care what it is. I want something to do with art. So I wasn't getting too much back, but then my mom was like, well, just check out in Arkansas. And I was like, what is in Arkansas? There's nothing in Arkansas. If Walmart's in Arkansas, and that was the only thing I thought at the time. So there was a company called Bay Cities, and they had a 3D rendering artist. And I was like, okay, well, I like doing 3D and I can do renders. I sent them my stuff, and then next day I got a phone call, and then they were like, hey, we like your stuff. Can you come in tomorrow or Thursday? And I was like, I think Thursday will work best, because at the time I was 21 hours away, and it was just me, my dog, and then all my stuff at my friend's house. So yeah, that next day I remember I got all my stuff together, packed up my car, my friends helped me and everything, and I left at 2 o'clock that morning and drove straight through. Me and my dog and my little Crown Vic at the time. It was 91 Crown Vic. Man, I can't believe that thing made it. Yeah, got here, interviewed the next day with all my stuff still in the car, and then got the job. I worked there for about a year and a half. And at that place, that's when I realized that there's a lot more different aspects than just like games and stuff like that, but it all kind of revolves around 3D. And that's kind of what I was like, okay, at least it's something 3D. But I had some really cool opportunities and stuff there, because that's where I got to do the Avengers train for Infinity War. I actually got to design that whole train, work with like some graphic designers and stuff that helped with art. And I got to design the whole structure of it and everything, where everything's going on the display, how many quantities of the products and all that stuff. And I actually won first place. We won Design the Times for that year. So that was kind of cool. That was like my first big kind of like award. And then after that, I had a company where which I work at currently now, called Advantage Solutions, kind of does the same thing, but they were looking for a new 3D artist, and I'm the first 3D guy here at this company. The cool stuff, like my dream, like I was saying, was to be a character artist. That's why I got Kratos up there, because that's one of my heroes, Raph Grassetti. He's an amazing 3D sculptor at Santa Monica Studios. Also, off camera back there is Nathan Drake from the Uncharted series.
Okay.
And of course, they're both in the grayscale raw sculpts from ZBrush, because that's when you can really see all the sculpted detail and the level of stuff that those people put in it. I made sure to put their names on it too. You always got to give credit where credit's due. So,
There you
but
go.
I don't know. It's really nice to have those motivating me every day, because then I actually got some character job stuff because of those. Yeah, because just seeing those every day just makes you get better, because you're seeing that stuff. You can see your stuff and kind of compare. So yeah, through Alex Animation is where I got my first kind of character job, and it was a medical illustration, and that's where I got to do the whole inside and outside of the heart and the whole cardiovascular system. I got to sculpt it in ZBrush and everything. They actually even flew me out to Boston, where I got to study human hearts, which was the crazy. I never thought as a 3D artist, like, I'm actually going to be here studying these things. Yeah. And in Boston, I've never seen something like it. So I got to go to the research department, and they had this huge wall, and it's just buckets, and I didn't know what they were at first. And then the doctor's like in there, like showing me around and all this stuff, and he's like, okay, so we're going to have you study some of these. And I was looking at it, and he pulled one bucket off the wall and opened it up, and they're just buckets of hearts.
Like human hearts?
Yeah. So like, on your card when you donate for like research and stuff like that, that's where what happens. So like each one of them had a tag on it. It doesn't tell you the name of the person, but it tells you the age of the person, what they had when they passed away, and that's about it. And if they were male or female. So it was crazy. You're just sitting there flipping them open. I still have videos of me, and you had to get in the whole gown and everything. So that was one of probably the craziest experiences I've had. And then because of that job, I've been slowly getting a little bit more medical illustration stuff, which I love, because again, medical illustration goes right into character stuff. They're basically paying you to learn anatomy. So then it just helps your character stuff tenfold. And because of that job, I got another freelance gig, and it was for the spine. So I got to model out and do stuff it's a Wilson Research Clinic. They're around here somewhere in Bentonville, Arkansas. But it was cool. I got to model out a vertebrae, and I had to model the inside and the outside of it. And then also on that one, I had to make it real time. So I don't know if have you heard of Marmoset Toolbag?
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, Marmoset Toolbag is what I actually rendered those in. I have them on my art station, but you can actually move them around and all that stuff. And man, the doctors just ate that up.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Because I think the display is just so neat. It's literally like opening up a 3D software, but it is on viewer, and you literally just click and drag, move around the lights and whatnot, which is amazing. You're right.
Yep, and it's pretty cool. And I'm trying to introduce that now into the company that I currently work with, because of my love for characters and stuff. And that's what I really want to do. I actually got to do characters at my work. Somehow I convinced them that they needed 3D people to put beside their displays and stuff, their 3D event specialists and stuff. So they actually allowed me a few months to make really high detailed, high resolution characters, and that was really cool. I was like, yes, getting
paid to do what you love. Amazing, man. I love it.
It's been fun. And then of course I got my first AAA job. I can't talk about it too much because of NDAs and stuff, but it's really exciting. And hopefully next year or so, then the world will see it, because it's actually backed by Unreal, which is pretty cool. The people that are doing it, they got an Unreal grant because Unreal believed in the software so much. So it's super exciting times.
And I know that you are kind of restricted on what you can share, but just to hit up some points, a lot of these people you mentioned, they are located in California right now.
Yep. A lot of things that I work with is strictly, I work out of my home office pretty much. Even my day job now, they actually shut down our offices, and all the graphic designers and 3D designers and everything are just working from home now.
Yeah. Okay. No, and that's amazing, because the living cost is just so low compared to living in California, where it's absolutely crazy.
And plus, being remote too kind of frees you up. Also gives you a lot more opportunities, because I also worked with a dermatology clinic that was in Canada. Wow. And on my website, you could probably see, like, I have some really high detailed faces and stuff. And that was actually me working with the dermatology clinic, because they wanted some like real close skin wrinkles and stuff like that. So I had to like sculpt the skin, what it looks like perfect beforehand, and then like what it looks like after you go to the dermatology clinic and they clean you up and stuff. So it was really cool. I like the medical stuff. Like I said, they just pay you to learn more stuff.
Actually, you end up hitting a lot of the points that I was going to ask. Excellent, excellent. I'm really happy. So, what about talk to us a little bit about your process, your creative process? Like, let's say you got a gig
Mhm.
or you got a task at your work. How do you go about it?
Well, first things, I always have my notebook right here, and I always take just tons of notes when everybody's saying anything. It may be chicken scratch, but it's always trying to get the main points out. So that's normally my first thing. We always have a kickoff, no matter if it's a event thing or if I'm doing a character thing. I always want to talk to the people and kind of get their vision and kind of what their end all be all goal is. From there, I kind of then do a game plan. Okay, if we're needing, it's a 3D modeling job, is it going to be organic or is it going to be hard surface?
So, talk to us a little bit about the softwares that you use. You
Yeah.
mentioned ZBrush
Oh man,
and
I have a
Marmoset.
ton.
What else?
Yeah, I have a ton of programs. So my main programs, I actually use 3ds Max, but that and ZBrush I use for more of the organic sculpting. It's more of a digital clay. But yeah, I have the whole Substance suite. I use that on a daily basis. I use that for texturing all my characters. If I need to create a custom material, I can use Substance Designer, and then we can bring it in. Like if you want a brick pattern. So now if you have that Substance Designer material, you can just quickly go in there with a few sliders and change it up, and have something that's really good. It'll spit out all your maps. You can export them. Another one that has been a big help is Marvelous Designer. Marvelous Designer is more of a cloth simulation program. That one I do all my clothes in. Any clothing that I ever do, I go straight to Marvelous. Anybody's ever played the Assassin's Creed series, all those characters, Marvelous Designer. That's how they got all those. And then let's see, what else do I got on this thing? I also use the Unreal Engine for games and real-time rendering stuff. And then depending if I need to have something hyper realistic, I use Keyshot. And Keyshot is amazing. You can do animations in there, and now they have stuff to where you can do fibers, liquid, bubbles,
Oh.
refractions, and a whole bunch of different stuff. Of course, the Photoshop suite, you always need those. The whole Creative Cloud, I'll say any artist, I think, should just learn all of them because, man, I don't know how many times, even if it's just something that you want to show your stuff, you need to throw it in Premiere real quick, know how to do it, or if you need to do an illustration, you know Illustrator, Photoshop, so you can do all your graphics.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the challenge? Because all of this you had to learn pretty much on your own. I mean, the school got you started in showing you the basics, but all of this, I know for a fact, you had to learn on your own. So talk to us a little bit about that learning
Yeah,
process.
it was, yeah, exactly that. It was a process. A lot of late nights, not even going to bed some nights, just staying up, absorbing everything. I actually have I have a bookshelf over here with binders. Yeah, these are just binders of notes about 3D programs and software and everything. Anything that I can find, I print out so I know I can have it later. Just quick grab it, one arm's reach away. But yeah, I will, any 3D program or project that someone gives me, if it's something that I'm excited about, I don't know, that's just my mentality. I'll always say yes, and then it's my duty to deliver. But yeah, and then the Boston Children's Hospital one, that one was probably my biggest learning curve because I had to learn the whole anatomy of a heart, and it's very rare to get a medical illustration job without going to school for medical illustration.
Okay.
Because if you Google anything, they always want you to have a master's degree in medical illustration or some crazy thing. And somehow, some way, they saw my work and said, "You know your way around the heart." And I just said, "Yes, sir."
Sure.
And then, yeah, as soon as I hung up off that call and they said I had it, I went straight to Barnes and Noble and bought myself a $200 anatomy book, which was the #1 rated heart anatomy book. And then I still have that right here. It was, and I have, you can see on my tabs, I got tabs going through here and everything. These are all just about the heart, and inside, outside of the heart, the whole anatomy. So I knew where every single vein is. I know the whole inside and outside of the heart now. So I'll say, yeah, just, it's never ending.
It's especially impressive to me the fact that you went to Barnes and Nobles. In another word, you were out of your comfort zone, accepting something that you don't know if you could do or not. Went out there, did the research, spent the money, right? Put really like skin on the game, and then studied it and delivered it. That is very impressive, man. And one thing I want to say real quick, that this is for all our viewers that might be aspiring artists at this moment. This is what it takes, guys. Right there, what Gage just said, it is literally what it takes. It is not about what you don't know. It's about what you can become once you end up learning that task. And it's about delivering. No, there's no buts. I can't. No. You gotta go on it. And that is something that I do respect of Gage ever since I met him back in school. The guy was a go-getter, and look at him now. So very awesome, man. I'm very, very happy. Last but not least, if anybody wishes to contact you, where can they find your work? How can you be contacted?
Yeah, you can find me on GageMills3D.com. That's GageMills 3D.com. And then on there I have links to my YouTube. I got links to my ArtStation. I also have a contact me page. So yeah, if anybody just wants to ask a question or anything, I'm always open to it.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, everybody, thank you to Gage one more time. We couldn't thank him enough. Thank you so much, man, and we wish you the best of luck. So
awesome. Thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure. I was excited to hear that you reached out and wanted to do this. So yeah, I've been looking forward to it all week.
All right. Well, thank you, Gage. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.